Hey, inspired riders. So, I saw something the other day that I thought was like a living parable, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about it, to put this out here, see what you think about it. Now, you probably won't be surprised to discover that the technological aspects of doing this is beyond me, and I'll get it figured out someday, but I just wanted to get my point across without spending a whole bunch of time trying to learn new software. So here's a really like MacGyver way to do this. But I was driving down the street and I saw this. I think that'll come across in the video. It's a U-Haul truck on the back of another moving truck. And I, the moment I saw it, I realized I was seeing a living parable, happening before my eyes. And I was asking myself, how is this moving truck broken down on the back of another moving truck like me? How is it like our lives? And there's I guess, an easy way to look at it and a hard way to look at it. So the easy way, I think, is a lot like when God drops in a whole new perspective. So I think of Peter when he gets the vision. He's sitting on the roof there in the book of Acts, and he gets the vision of the sheep being brought down with all these different kind of animals, and God says, kill and eat. And, it's completely challenging Peter's idea, having grown up with all of the Jewish and the Hebrew traditions and the laws and the regulations of what you can eat and what you can't eat. And God said, no, don't call unclean what I've made clean. So that's an example to me of, you know what, Peter, you don't have the ability to move from this place to this place. So I'm just going to load you on the back of my truck and I'm going to take you where I need you to be. So that's the easy way, I would say. It's still going to take some work, and I'm sure, it messes with you. Can you picture a person sitting in the U-Haul while they're being, it's uncomfortable. It's like, this, I didn't want to go this particular way. I need to stop. I want to, there's all those different things that you can take that analogy down the road. But then there's the hard way. And this is probably what happened in this case. I started thinking about, what's the situation? If I own the U-Haul truck and it's broken down, and I'm the company that rented it to you, and I'm the one who rented it, and I'm the big massive towing truck company, no one in that scenario is going to want to just load the truck with all of the stuff on the back of the big truck and say, where were you moving to? Oh, you're in Kansas and you want to go to Arizona? No problem. Let's just go to Arizona. That's not what's going to happen. They're going to give you a new truck, and then they're going to say, wherever it broke down, like in the parking lot, on the side of the road, wherever this thing stopped working, you got to unpack everything that you took forever packing just so. Man, can I, you raise your hand? Can I, I see you in the back there. Oh, loading a moving truck sucks. So you load it just so, and there you are in probably the worst possible place in horrible weather, unpacking everything from that truck and putting it into a new moving truck. And then, and only then, after that job is done, you go back to where you were going. You get back on the road. And then meanwhile, I take a picture of the broken down truck empty, being taken off to be repaired. That's the hard way. And that's also like us, where if we get so bogged down, we get so stuck in our idea of how it's supposed to work and how this is supposed to happen, God will just say, all right, until you get all of that stuff unpacked and you move it over into this other truck, you're going nowhere. Some people call this the dark night of the soul or a desert experience. This is the time when we're asking ourselves, God, where are you? Or we're like, oh, I got half of it. I just got all this stuff put together and now I got to unpack it. I got put into a new circumstance. I think of Abraham, where God says, I'm going to take you off your map. I'm going to take you to a place you do not know. And you're going to have to figure this out, and you're going to have to unpack things and repack things and sort it all out. But either way, God's in the midst of it. Sometimes we get to choose which way it's going to go. Sometimes we get to just don't get stuck at all, and we just try and stay tender, and we try and stay sensitive with the Lord and say, I don't want to get stuck on the side of the road, and we do the hard work before we get stuck. Sometimes God will do it the easy way and say, okay, I'm just going to pick you up and move you where I need you to be. But if none of those work, then we're going to find ourselves in some parking lot or on some side of the road unpacking everything we so carefully tried to put together, only to load it into a new truck so we can finally get going back the way we need to go. That's my thought, my living parable for the day. Please click on the links to subscribe to the channel, and click on the next video in here and participate in the other things that we're talking about here in The Inspired Writer. Thanks.